Hello everybody, it's Valerie from the Easy IELTS, and in this video series we're gonna talk about the IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. As you know, you're supposed to finish this series under 20 minutes, and I will show you the system which you could use to get a really good grade. We're looking for the grade Band 8+. So in the first lesson, we're gonna talk about the 4-paragraph system. During your exam, you may get a different kind of graphs. You may get the line charts, the bar charts, the table, the map, the pie chart, or the process. If you get one of these, it's called a simple chart. However, sometimes you may get two charts, and in this case, it's called combined ones. So by using the 4-paragraph system, you could write any kind of essay for any kind of chart. So for the 4-paragraph system, you would fairly ask what is the structure of our essay. Well, I propose to go from the general to specific, from the overall information to more details. So in the first paragraph, we just paraphrase the task that is given to us. It's just one sentence. In the second paragraph, we're gonna summarize the main trends. We're gonna look at the data and see if some things go up, some things go down, just the general information. And in this paragraph, we do not write any numbers. So in the paragraph 3, we're gonna look at the data once again and see if we could, group things together that behaves the same way. And in this case, we report the similarities. While in the paragraph 4, we report the contrast from the big picture to the details. So let's look at this example and read it together. The graph shows data about the annual earnings of 3 gas stations in Barcelona from 2000 to 2010. We need to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant. So let's look at this graph. It's multiple line chart. There are uh, three fuel stations. And here on the x-axis, we have the timeline, and the y-axis, we have the yearly income. So for the paragraph 1, it's just a one sentence paraphrase. We're gonna paraphrase the task that is given to us, and that's it. For the paragraph 2, we're gonna summarize the main trends. We do not write any numbers here. So we're gonna summarize the information by looking at this data. So let's look at this chart, and we see that Catalan Fuel and Sol Pump Station, they both show the upward trend. So we're gonna group them together while the cost of fuel goes down. In the paragraph 3, we're gonna report the similarities. We're gonna report the main features. And in this case, we're gonna group the Sol Pump Station and Catalan Fuel together because they both show the upward trend. So how we're gonna do that? We're gonna describe in the paragraph 3 a lot of more details. So we're gonna take, for example, the Catalan Fuel. We're gonna split its black uh, line chart into a couple of segments, and we're gonna characterize each of them. So in this case, from 2000 to 2007, we do not have a lot. It's just a slight fluctuation that is going on, and then we have the gradual increase. The similar situation is shown for the Sol Pump Station. From 2000 to 2005, we just barely do not have anything, it's just the stable line. Then we have the gradual increase, and at the end we have a dramatic rise. So we're gonna talk in details about these two, stations in the paragraph 3. In the paragraph 4, we're gonna look at the contrast and report it. So at the same time, we need to report the main features. In this case, we're gonna look at the cost of fuel. And as we have noticed this, it shows the decreasing trend. So we're gonna talk about this, how we're gonna split this, its trend. So in this case, from 2000 to 2004, there is a, stronger fluctuations. And then there's a more or less gradual downward trend. That's it. Also, we need to make comparison where relevant. So we're going to look at the data and see if there is something important in this graph. Well, in this case, there is a point at year 2007 where they have the interception of two graphs. That's important feature, and we need to talk about this. At the same time, there is a really huge difference by the end of the period. So in year 2010, there's a striking difference. So we're gonna also mention that. So I propose to write the following sketch. For the paragraph 1, we're going to paraphrase the given task once again. Paragraph 2, we're going to group catalan fuel and salt pump because they both go up. And we're going to contrast to the cost of fuel. For the paragraph 3, we're going to describe in details catalan fuel and salt pump. We're going to provide a lot of numbers. And in the paragraph 4, we're going to also describe the cost of fuel in details and compare it to the catalan fuel and salt pump. So here is the sample of the band 8 answer. For the first paragraph, we're just paraphrasing the given task. How to do it for any kind of chart I will show in the next video about the introduction. So we're not gonna spend a lot of time here. For the paragraph 2, we start with the word overall. We signal our examiner that, hey, this is the summary. Look, this is the clear indicator that this is the summary, and then we read. Overall, it's clear that both. We say that we already group things together. In the paragraph 1, we just listed them, right? Catalan fuel, comma, salt pump, and Costa fuel. But in the paragraph 2, we group them together based on the, similar features. So Catalan fuel and salt pump station. In the second paragraph, we give much more information, but still no numbers. So in this case, we just say that Catalan fuel and salt pump station experienced a significant upward trend in their earnings, and so on. So we give more information in the second paragraph. And then we say in stark contrast. What is the contrast? The contrast is cost of fuel, which trend is the downward one, right? So the annual income for the cost of fuel showed a dramatic decline, and so on. So we expanded, we talk more about the cost of fuel here. And that's it for the second paragraph. As you see, there are no numbers here. For the third paragraph, we just talk mostly about the Catalan fuel and salt pump station because we already agreed that, they both go up. So we group them together. Firstly, we talk about the Catalan fuel. We describe its trend, and that's it. Then we talk about the word, we use the word similarly. It's very important one because it shows to the examiner that you group things together. You found the similar traits, you found the similar things. And we talk about the salt pump. The same idea, we just describe the trend, the graph for the salt pump station. And that's it for the third paragraph. In the paragraph 4, we're going to start with the word contrast. In contrast to the paragraph 3, we're going to provide the details about the cost of fuel. So once again, very clear idea, very vertical idea. We took the cost of fuel from the second paragraph and give more details. We describe in details its trend. And finally, we provided a little bit of additional comparison for our chart because, as you remember, in the task we are supposed to not only report the main features, but also make comparison. Yeah, that's it. So just to give you an overall idea of how we go from the general to specific, we could just look at this, snapshot for the cost of fuel and salt pump. So in the paragraph 1, we just listed them, right? In the paragraph 2, we give more information. We explained which one goes up, which one goes down. Well, in this case, they both go up. In the paragraph 3, we gave much more detailed information. We described in detail each of their trends. And similarly for the Catalan fuel, we just in the paragraph 1 we just listed it. In the paragraph 2 we gave more explanation about it, and much more details is provided in the paragraph 4. So we go from the big picture to the details. So what did you learn today? Today we have covered that we need to write exactly 4 paragraphs. We do not use any numbers in the overview in our summary of the main trends, which is the paragraph 2. And also we need to group details logically. So in the paragraph 3, we report the similarity. So we group things together that is similar to each other. In the paragraph 4, we provide the contrast and make additional comparison. Well, Thank you guys for your attention. In the next lesson, I will explain how to write any kind of introduction, which is our paragraph 1, how to paraphrase any task under 1 minute. Thank you for your attention. I'll see you next video. Bye.